Professor Michael Dennin, thank you for sitting down with me to participate in a diversity conversation. During your long career at UCI as a physics professor, as well as now a vice provost of teaching and learning, I'd like you to reflect on what equity, diversity, inclusion means to you.
Well, thank you, Doug, and thank you for giving me this chance to talk about it, because I think one of the things about equity, diversity, inclusion from the teaching and learning perspective, but I think it spills over to the research, it spills over to selecting grad students, hiring faculty, is the word excellence. Mm-hmm. That's something I've learned particularly in the last few years in administration, as I've gone to national meetings. I realized in academics, one of our dangers that we get sucked into is, well, if we just get the excellent person, we'll be okay. We just need to worry about excellence. And that ignores the fact that excellence does not have a single definition. And that defining excellence is often our challenge. And I have to do this. I have to go to the soccer coach analogy, right? If you're trying to assemble a kid's soccer team or any sports team, and you said, well, we're just going to take the kids who are excellent, you're setting yourself up for failure by definition, because you need to fill many different positions, you need many different types of players to satisfy many different types of roles. More importantly, as a person evaluating players, I've learned over the years as a coach, you have your own built-in unconscious biases you have to overcome. So you might have developed an idea that the tall kid is somehow strong, the short kids are fast. And you might need to fill, you need a player who's quick and fast for a certain position. You just see them, and without watching them play, without really exploring what their strengths are, you're like, okay, I'm going to take the small kid. Turns out the small kid's really slow, right. And now you've ruined your chances. And that big kid was super quick, right? And when we look at teaching and learning and education, you also have these other factors. You come in, we often talk about in soccer and sports, we would rather have the great athlete who's trainable than the kid who comes with a lot of apparent skills but has plateaued and really has nowhere to go.
I see.
Right? Which is another tricky thing when you're doing education, right? Are you selecting someone based purely on their past performance? Or are you selecting someone for their future potential? And is your job to fulfill their future potential? Or is your job simply to stamp, yes, you've achieved a lot, keep going? So these are the factors that come in when we talk about diversity, inclusive excellence, inclusion, is it's developing the skills, the structures, the institutional ability to really evaluate the diversity of experience. And the harder one, the really hard one, is to evaluate the diversity of potential. And then to put into place the institutional structures that allow that potential to reach its full potential and to really blossom. So from a pedagogical point of view, you look at, is my pedagogy one that really encourages students to grow, or is it simply one that selects for certain skills? Right? And selection is fine. Sometimes you need to do that. It's nice to know the people who already have the skills. I'm not saying that's a bad thing to know, but wouldn't you also like to know the kids who could develop the skills and then develop those with them? So that's kind of, this analogy I think really helps understand why excellence isn't a single obvious thing, why diversity and inclusion builds excellence in its broadest sense and really helps us be the best institution we can be and our students be the best they can be.
Professor Dennin, thank you so much for sitting down with me and sharing your insight on inclusive excellence.
You're welcome. Thank you. It was great to be here.